to come over and see the fake news. Let's go.
Joy, just wondering, do you think people with Trump derangement syndrome know they have it?
Right now, Donald Trump. Shithole country. You're an idiot.
And second question, did you steal Trump's haircut or did he steal yours? Cultural appropriation haircut right there. She didn't like that too much. Joy Reid, everybody. Trump derangement syndrome.
I'm an American badass. American badass. Watch me kick. Yeah. American badass. Suck my dick. American badass. I'm gonna fuck some hoes after I rock this place. American badass. Watch me kick. American badass. Suck my dick. Yeah. Super fly. Living double wide. Cyclone, my glide. Control C can ride. Full sack to share. Bringing flash and flare. Got the long hair swinging middle finger in the air. Snakeskin suit 65 Chappelle. See me ride and sin. Hear the rebel yell. I won't live to tell. So if you do, give the next generation a big fuck you.
Run DMC and Jam Master Jay.
Trump derangement. It just keeps ramping up. Today was a big day for it.
America!
We love you. We love you.
Dum, da, dum, dum. No one insults the intelligence of Trump voters more than Donald Trump.
Shove it up your ass.
Now, you may have noticed that I have not yet included Donald Trump in our coverage of the Republican presidential campaign this season, and that is because he is obviously never going to be president. He is obviously never going to be the Republican nominee for president, and he is obviously never going to be a candidate for president.
Liberals amuse me. I am a socialist. I live to the extreme left. Great. The extreme left of you mere liberals, okay?
Well, for every day of Donald Trump's almost 78 years of life, FBI agents have carried guns.
No shit, Sherlock.
And I am sure that most voters who vote for Donald Trump are smarter than Donald Trump. The people who send money to Trump, who are a tiny, tiny percentage of Trump voters.
We just got a report this morning. In the history of politics, I believe, maybe I'm wrong, but somebody will find that I'm wrong, maybe, but I don't think so. A record $39 million in about a 10-hour period. No, think of that.
All right, I think it was 34.8 million, but who's arguing there?
Today, Donald Trump is raising money from those poor people who should know better but don't.
I am a socialist.
By sending an email saying,
the FBI authorized the use of deadly force during the Mar-a-Lago raid. This according to documents filed by Trump's legal team.
Biden's DOJ was authorized to shoot me, exclamation point. Biden's DOJ was authorized to use deadly force. Joe Biden was locked and loaded, ready to take me out and put my family in danger. Donald Trump told those lies about deadly force to his stupidest supporters.
I mean, it's a pre-green light to go onto the property of the former president of the United States with armed weapons and the ability to go into all the private spaces of Mar-a-Lago, the guests, the private residents, the children's homes, where you know there are armed guards whose job it is to protect the former leader of the free world. I mean, the stakes are already going to be high. The tensions are going to be higher than your average raid. They knew all of this. And I think if they weren't coordinating with the Secret Service, then this is absolutely egregious. They endangered everybody down there.
This piece of paper is the FBI's policy statement on the use of deadly force.
Attached to this plan that instructs agents how and when they can use deadly force during an FBI raid. And there were other details that were disclosed, also caveats as to how agents should continue if the former president showed up at Mar-a-Lago during the raid. Of course, he was, at the time, his summer residence in Bedminster. How they would negotiate if Secret Service agents resisted the raid.
So they were ready for a full-out armed conflict. That's what you're telling me.
This is what the documents released today indicate.
This piece of paper is part of the filings of every search warrant obtained by the FBI. That means this very same piece of paper was in the filings in the search warrant that the FBI executed at Joe Biden's summer home.
So what exactly were these 30-plus armed FBI agents? What were they doing? What were they looking for, Mark? They weren't looking for papers that had classified markings on them. The entire premise for all of this, as we've known, is a lie. It was about optics, and it could be, some speculate, looking for Donald Trump's copies of the Crossfire Hurricane records.
These people are sick. They're sick. They're deranged.
But this is egregious. It's mind-blowing. And I'll tell you what, Mark, there are people out there actually defending this. Former federal prosecutors and former FBI agents who say, well, of course, this is standard operating procedure to have a deadly force guidance included in this plan. There's no defense of this, Mark.
Against the former president? There's plenty of that. There's plenty of precedent. There's no precedent.
In the FBI's investigation of Joe Biden's possible possession of classified material, an investigation that found with which Joe Biden fully cooperated from the start and was found to have done nothing wrong.
The Democrats must be made to suffer in this same way. We need to start indicting them. And I pray to God Trump wins, and the first thing he does is tell his Justice Department to go indict Joe Biden, who we already know from the special counsel Robert Hur, H-U-R, has committed a felony. And the only reason he wasn't indicted for his felony, which is keeping classified documents that weren't his, was because he said he's a well-meaning elderly man with a poor memory.
With which Joe Biden fully cooperated from the start and was found to have done nothing wrong.
And I couldn't get a jury to convict. Well, let's roll the dice. Maybe we'll get lucky. Maybe we'll try it in front of a Texas jury or a Mississippi jury. That's the first item of business if Trump wins.
No one changed the rules that day so that the FBI agents could just shoot Donald Trump. But Donald Trump knows that he has some supporters, a tiny group of them, who are so hopelessly stupid.
He is obviously never going to be president. He is obviously never going to be the Republican nominee for president.
He can tell them that the FBI, quote, was authorized to shoot me, and they'll believe it.
He is obviously never going to be a candidate for president.
Thank you very much.
Mr. President, can you tell us, sir, Donald Trump refers to himself as a political prisoner and blames you directly. What's your response to that, sir? Do you think the conviction will have an impact on the campaign? We'd love to hear your thoughts, sir.
Should he be on the ballot, sir? I'm Joe Biden's husband.
Not only will they believe it, they will send him money. They will send money to the man who told them when he began running for president that he was so rich he would never ask for anyone's money.
Are you going to accept donations, large donations, small donations, if people want to give you money?
Wait a minute. Wait. Small donations. People sending in $100 and $7 and $9, and we do accept that because they want to invest in the campaign, and it's relative peanuts. But you know what? They want to be a part of it, and I love that. That's not influence. That's not a lobbyist giving me $5 million where I turned down $5 million where they want to put in millions and millions of dollars. That's people that want to invest in the campaign. That I happen to love. I think it's a really good thing, and I think it's a really positive thing.
Now think about the layers of stupidity that are right there, the layers of stupidity it takes to respond to that Donald Trump email and send him money. That is the money Donald Trump uses to pay his criminal defense lawyers.
I am a socialist. I live to the extreme left, the extreme left of you mere liberals, okay? So I don't pretend that my views, which would ban all guns in America, make Medicare available to all in America, have any chance of happening in the federal government.
The stakes of this presidential election are not just what would happen here in the United States with a President Biden or a President Trump, but what would happen around the world, and now specifically what would happen to Ukraine, what would happen to Poland, what would happen to Finland and other threatened members of NATO without Joe Biden in the presidency to protect them.
This is the election where, for the rest of your life, you will be asked what you did when Donald Trump rose. What did you do? How did you vote? Will be the first question. And if he is elected, the next question will be, what did you do to stop it? What did you do beyond voting? What were you doing the weekend before? What were you doing 6 months before?
Yeah. I started talking about the 25th Amendment 2 weeks into the Trump presidency, when it had become painfully clear that by any previous behavioral standard applied to the presidency, Donald Trump was unfit to serve.
Anyway, and I don't want to, well, maybe choose my words. I was just thinking, anyway, I just, look, I mean, Putin's kleptocracy, yeah. It was in January.
Psychiatrists and psychologists started going public with their concerns about the president's mental stability. Some of them appeared on as guests on this program. And people who knew the president well and had been very friendly with him for years began to publicly question his mental health.
With the Department of from Charlotte, another line going from in Florida down to Tampa.
And as Joe Biden and Donald Trump make clear every day, Joe Biden is better on his worst day than Donald Trump is on his best day on every issue confronting the presidency, from health care to NATO. And if you write about President Biden's age without saying that, then you are doing a disservice to the truth.